If you want to sound more polite, professional, and natural in English, then this video is for you. Today, I'm going to teach you 25 phrases that native speakers use all the time to sound more polite. I will explain the meaning, when to use them, give clear examples, and show you the grammar to use so that you can avoid making mistakes. By the end of the video, you will have 25 ready-to-use expressions that you can use for emails, meetings, messages, and everyday conversation. Let's get started. Phrase number 1 is, I was wondering if. This is one of the softest ways to make a request and sound polite. It works well in emails, messages, and situations where you don't want to sound too demanding when you ask for something. Here's a few examples of how you could use this phrase. I was wondering if you could help me with this project. I was wondering if you have time for a quick call later. I was wondering if we could work on this project together. Notice how after if, I use a pronoun. I was wondering if you could help me. I was wondering if we could work on this together. Or even, I was wondering if I could arrive at work late today. So that's how you use it. Next time you want to politely ask for something, try using that and see how it sounds. Phrase number 2 is, would you mind? This is another phrase we use when we're asking for something. And again, we could use it in emails, meetings, messages, or everyday conversation when we ask another person if they would mind doing something for us. Now remember, with this phrase, we always use the ing form after mind. For example, would you mind sending this in an email? Would you mind moving our meeting to 12 o'clock? Would you mind opening the window for me? So that's how you use it. Next time you want to ask someone to do something for you, try using would you mind with the ing form. Another phrase we can use when we've asked someone to do something for us is if it's not too much trouble. Here we are usually asking someone for a favor, and we want to make sure that it's not going to cause an inconvenience to the other person. It's perfect for asking favors from people at work, your neighbor, or even your friend. We can use this either before or after the request. For example, if it's not too much trouble, could we move our meeting to tomorrow? Or you could say, please can you send me the information in an email if it's not too much trouble? So you see, we can put it before or after the request. The next phrase is when you get a moment. Again, this is used when we've asked someone to do something for us, but we want to emphasize that they don't need to rush or there's no time pressure. They can do it when they have the time. This is a very common phrase in workplace communication. For example, when you get a moment, could you please take a look at the report that I wrote? Or when you get a moment, could you please sign the contract and send it back to me? In these examples, we are reassuring our listener that there is no rush. There's no need to hurry on this particular request. The next phrase is great when you want to show that you appreciate something. You can say, I really appreciate it. So we use this when someone agrees to do something for us, or when they've already done something for us. So it's something that we can say after saying thank you. For example, thank you for covering my shift yesterday. I really appreciate it. Or thank you for explaining everything so clearly. I really appreciate it. So this is a great one to sound polite when you are thanking somebody. Next we have I completely understand. This phrase is used to show empathy and in some cases reduce tension. It's a great one to use when someone shares a problem, delays something, apologizes, or even shows that they disagree. If you want to reassure them that that's okay, there's no problem from your end, you can simply say, I completely understand. Next, we have just to clarify. This helps you to check information with someone while sounding polite. It's very common at work for meetings or emails. For example, you might say, just to clarify, are we meeting at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock? Or just to clarify, you need the final version of the report tomorrow. So it's used when we are checking information, checking that we've understood something correctly. Another checking phrase is, I wanted to check in about. This could be a polite follow-up if someone has forgotten to reply to you, or you just want to confirm a detail. For example, I just want to check in about the project we discussed last week. Or I just want to check in about the delivery date. So you're using it to follow up or to clarify something. The next phrase is another one when we are making a polite request. Could you possibly? Use this when you want to sound extremely polite. For example, if you're talking to a client or a customer, you want them to do something for you, but you need to be very polite asking them to do it. You could say, could you possibly send me that file again? Or could you possibly let me know when the report is ready? So here you are being really, really polite in asking someone for something. The next phrase is very useful, particularly when you are writing an email or a message, and that's at your earliest convenience. This is a very formal, business-friendly phrase, and like I said, it's often used in writing. It's polite, respectful, and appropriate for official or formal emails. You could say something like, please return the signed contract at your earliest convenience, or kindly respond to this email at your earliest convenience. So we're saying that there's no rush, but we would like the other person to do something when they can. The next phrase is, I completely agree with you. This shows strong agreement, but is also calm and professional. Very good to use this when you're in meetings or discussions where you're collaborating with other people. So if someone says something or shares an idea and you want to professionally and politely show that you agree, you can say, I completely agree with you. And notice how we emphasize or stress the word completely. Another phrase to show agreement is, I see your point. It shows that you're listening and also considering the other person's opinions. You could also use it to soften your disagreement. For example, I see your point, but I think we should go in a different direction. So it depends how you use it here. You could simply say, yes, I see your point, to show that you acknowledge the other person's opinion, or you can use the word but to introduce that you disagree, but it is still a polite phrase. If you're enjoying this video and finding these phrases useful, please take a second to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you can be notified every time I release a new English language video. Now let's continue with our next phrase. The next one is, that sounds reasonable. You can use this phrase when you want to accept someone's suggestion or idea. It shows that you're being fair and open, and it's also appropriate in a formal or professional setting. For example, if someone suggests that you extend the deadline for a project, you could say, okay, that sounds reasonable. The next phrase is very useful, and you would probably use this all the time, and that's, thanks for letting me know. It's a polite reaction to information. Even if that information is negative or it's bad news, you just want to acknowledge that you received the message and be polite about it. You can say, thanks for letting me know. Remember, after we say thanks for, we always use the ing form. So we could say, thanks for letting me know, or thanks for helping me with the project, or thanks for sending the email. The next phrase is, I will do my best. This is a polite way of saying that we are going to try to do something, but we're not over-promising. It's honest and polite. For example, if your manager asks you to finish something by today and you think that it might not be possible, but you are willing to try, you can say, okay, I will do my best. It shows that you're making the effort without over-promising. Next is, I appreciate your patience. This is a great phrase to use when something has taken longer than expected. It's useful for both spoken and written English. So you might use this at the end of an email when you want to communicate that something is delayed. You can say, "I'm really sorry about the delay. I appreciate your patience." Next is a little more casual but could still be used in professional settings, and that's "no worries at all." This is just giving friendly reassurance if someone makes a mistake or apologizes for something. It is a little bit more casual, so you wouldn't use this in a very formal situation, but with colleagues and people at work, it would generally be fine. The next one is, "let me know if there's anything else you need." This is a very useful expression and a common way to end messages or emails. For example, you might send an email with an updated version of a file and say, "Here is the updated file. Let me know if there's anything else you need." So keep this in mind when you're finishing emails. It keeps the communication open and makes you sound polite and helpful. The next phrase is, "I completely respect your decision." This shows that you are professional even if you disagree with someone. So if you're in a meeting or a situation where someone has told you something that you maybe don't like, but you want to show that you're not going to argue with them, you can say, "Okay, I completely respect your decision." And it shows that you're polite and professional. The next phrase is, "Thank you for your understanding." This is another great way to end an email or a message. It's often used if you have caused a small inconvenience, or you've been late delivering something, or you just want to show appreciation to the other person. For example, you could say, "I'm very sorry that we had to cancel tomorrow's meeting. Thank you for your understanding." Now we have another phrase to ask for permission, and that is, "Would it be all right if?" This is a much more polite way of asking for permission instead of saying, "Can I?" or even "Could I?" For example, "Would it be all right if we started the meeting 10 minutes later?" "Would it be all right if I sent you the email tomorrow morning?" So we're asking for permission to do something, but in a very polite way. And again, we're using a pronoun after the word if. Would it be all right if we? Or would it be all right if I? Next phrase is, "I hope this works for you." This shows consideration for the other person's timetable or preferences. You might say, "I've scheduled a meeting for tomorrow at 1 p.m. I hope this works for you." Or, "I can deliver the project by tomorrow. I hope this works for you." So we're showing consideration, but also inviting the other person to tell us if it's a problem. Next is, "I will keep you updated." This phrase is good if you want to reassure the other person that you're not going to keep them waiting too long, or you're going to continue to communicate with them. You might say, "I'm waiting to hear back from the technical team. I will keep you updated." It's a more polite way of saying, "I will let you know." The next one is, "That's very kind of you." This is a really polite way to respond when someone offers to help you with something. So if someone at work offers to help on a project or do you a favor, you can be polite and respond, "That is very kind of you." Our final phrase is, "Please feel free to." This is encouraging or inviting another person to take action on something. It's often used when we are giving permission for somebody to do something. For example, you could end an email, "Please feel free to contact me if you need anything else." Or, "Please feel free to book a call with me when it's convenient for you." So it's a really polite way of inviting people or giving permission for people to do something. Well done! You've just learnt 25 super common phrases that will help you sound more polite, professional, and confident. Feel free to use these at work, in customer emails, or even with your friends. And if you're looking to continue practicing and improving your English, then I recommend you check out this video next.